In previous video, we discussed about three different ways of declaring and initializing variables in JavaScript by using let, const and var. Now, as part of this video, I would like to go through how exactly the behavior of let, const and var will be changing depending on the place where you are declaring them and where you are accessing them. If you have not gone through that previous video, I do recommend to watch it before coming to this video. It's a prerequisite to this video and it will really help you out. I will leave a link in the description for your reference. Now, coming to program, I have a simple code having three different variables using var, let and const, and I have declared and initialized all of them by using different data, and simply I am trying to output the same. So you can see it's a very simple program. If I would like to output this one, then I can be able to run this one. You can see it's outputting Ram 39 and Bengaluru, which is the value corresponding to these three variables. But what will happen if I will try to access the output before even being initialized? Will that still be valid in JavaScript? Let's see. So I will be printing them. So you can see I am trying to get the output before even being declared and initialized. So that is the crucial point that you have to remember. As you can see, already Coca is getting error. It's showing the error message cannot access age before initialization. But why is not that possible with var? Var is still outputting undefined. If I will try to save and output this one, you can see it's outputting undefined for var type of variable. Even though I am accessing that before being initialized and declared, still I am getting output as undefined, which is not valid in most of the programming languages, but JavaScript is liberal in that case. If you are declaring a variable by using var, then that got hoisted. That is the reason it is getting undefined as a output. But won't it be possible to hoist let and const variable? Let's see. For the time being, just keep in mind that let variables could not be accessible before even being declared. So what do I mean? So for example, here you can see an error is being thrown when you try to access age before being initialization. But if I will try to take this out from here, Control X, and I will try to come line number 5, you can see we have let variable, and here I have declared and initialized the let variable. But if in case, if I will try to only declare this one and move the initialization to the next line. Now, after getting initialized, if I would like to access the same in line number 6, will it throw an error? Let's see. So for the time being, I am just commenting this out and I will try to rerun this one. So is it throwing any error? No, because let is being initialized with undefined. So that is what is being printed here. So you must access let once after declaration at minimum, and if you are declaring and initializing, that is even better, but you have to access let after only being declared. That is what a thumb rule you have to remember. Now coming to const, how is the behavior compared to let and what is the difference you will find in const? So if I will try to access a const variable before even being declared and initialized, you still find the same kind of error. But if I will try to replicate the same thing that I did with let, that will even complain. Now let's see. If I will be trying to move this line out and I will get it removed it from here, Control X, and I will put it here, and let me put the console log statement just in line 7, just post declaring a const variable. What it complains? It complains const declarations must be initialized. So you must declare and initialize const at once. You can't separate the declaration and initialization. That is what it says. So when it comes to let and const, they are also being hoisted, but they are hoisted differently compared to your where. That is why they are throwing error if you are trying to access them before being initialized and declared. I will go through a demo so that you will have a clear picture why this mechanism and how this mechanism is happening. So why you are unable to access a let and const based variable even before being initialized and declared? Because they are falling under temporal dead zone. What exactly is a temporal dead zone? So temporal dead zone is any place in our program where we are trying to access a let based variable even before they are being declared, and when it comes to const based variable even before they are being declared and initialized. So in case of let, you can access a let based variable after being declared, and in case of const, you must access a const based variable only after they are being declared and initialized. Any place before this one will lead you to error. So that is what is referred as a temporal dead zone. Now let's understand this with a demo. Now coming to this program, you can clearly see I have where in line number 4, but I am trying to access in line number 1. So that is where it got hoisted, because where variables can be hoisted and will be initialized with a default undefined value. That is why it is not throwing error. That we will see shortly, but for the time being, just understand that you can access where based variable anywhere in your program without any kind of error. And when it comes to let and const based variable, let is being declared at line number 5. So any place starting from line number 1 till line number 4 is what is called as temporal dead zone for age. So if you are trying to access age before line number 5, then you will simply get an error. But if you will be doing that after line number 5, where already let is being declared and initialized, then you won't be having any issue. And similar thing goes with line number 6, which is a const based variable, and the temporal dead zone for city variable lies starting from line number 1 till line number 5. That is what is being referred as temporal dead zone, and we will try to understand this with a simple example visually. This is the same example that we are trying out with Visual Studio Code. When JavaScript engine sees a particular piece of code, first it will create execution context. So execution context is the environment where our code will be running and executing. So that you have to keep in mind. So the code execution will be happening in 2 phases. Creation phase, where exactly your memory allocation will be happening, and next is your execution phase, where exactly your code will be executing and you can be able to see and debug how the code is being executed. So coming to our example, you can see now the JavaScript parser is at line number 1. Because this is just a simple console log statement, it will ignore that because there is nothing to store, nothing to allocate. Now it will move to our next line, which is commented. So I have commented it for a reason, because you have seen in the demo in Visual Studio Code that if I will enable the line at line number 2, because it's a let based variable, it will error out. That is why I have commented. Nothing will be happening here because it's a comment. Then comes line number 3. It will also ignore this one because it's again commented. Coming to line number 4 is where your creation phase will be beginning. You can see I have declared a variable using where keyword, and username is the variable name, and then I am trying to allocate that with RAM. But because I am in creation phase, no allocation will be happening. So it will be happening in the execution phase. So for the time being, it will take this out and put undefined as a default value in memory. So you have to keep that in mind. Where based variables are being initialized with undefined in creation phase. Now coming to the next line, line number 5. It's a let based variable and I have initialized with 39. So you can see parser will simply move to this line and it will be initialized differently. Remember, I have told you even let and const variables are being hoisted, but they are being hoisted differently. So this is where they are being hoisted differently. You can see age is also a let based variable, but it's not being initialized with default undefined value or something else. It's simply initialized to value unavailable. It's differently hoisted, and there is no value initialization happening to the let based variable. That is why if you are trying to access that in later phase, it is trying to error out. Similar thing will be happening to city as well, and const city equal to Bengaluru will be initialized with value unavailable. Now coming to next line, we have console log statement having username, which is just a var variable. Nothing will be happening here because this is just a function call. It will simply ignore. Now coming to next line, again it is just a function call to log the value to the console, so nothing will be happening. Here our creation phase will be done. Next phase will be your execution phase. Now in execution phase, actual code execution will be happening, and in line number 1 we are trying to output console log username. You can see already in memory as part of creation phase we have undefined value available in our username variable. So that is what will be printed to your console. This is what is being referred as hoisting. Hoisting is not like something that you will be keeping in top of your program, not like that. Now you have visualized this in demo, and in creation phase whatever default initialization is happening, that is what is called as hoisting. Coming to the next line, it will go to line number 2, but I have commented this. Now coming to the line number 3, you have pt, which is again a const based variable, and I am trying to access that one. As I told, it will error it out. So uncut reference error cannot access city before initialization at line number 3. So that is what I have already demoed. Because of this error, you could not run through the program further. So in order to avoid that one, I will be again commenting this line number 3 so that I can get through this program. And line number 4, so you remember in creation phase username is being initialized with a default value undefined. Now that will be overridden with actual name RAM. Now is when the memory will be allocated with actual value in execution phase. Next, coming to line number 5, when parser will be moving to line number 5, it will allocate that with actual value 39 instead of value unavailable, whatever has been put in creation phase. Now similar thing will be happening with line number 6. It will be initialized with Bengaluru. Now coming to next line, it will print RAM because already the username space has been populated with value RAM. That is why it will output RAM. And coming to the next line, it will print 39 as the value output because already age is being populated with 39. So that's all for this particular program. But you have to keep in mind that I have not introduced any kind of function or any kind of block scope here in this program. This is just a simple program to demonstrate how exactly the creation phase and execution phase is happening. So that is why this whole program is being executed within your global execution context. There is no other context is being created in your execution context. So I will come up with a more detailed video having function and block level scoping, function level scoping. All that will be in refined way in a different video. But for the time being, just understand that what exactly is hoisting and how exactly hoisting is happening in var, lat and const based variable. And I would like to have your questions on the same. If you have any kind of doubt, I would love to answer them. So please do comment me, and if you have any kind of suggestion related to my video, you are always welcome. So till then, see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.